What's going on, people? A couple more people to get up in here before I start chopping it up with y'all. Great win, man. Great win we had. Huge win. Huge win. Salute. What's going on, man? Listen, we rolling, man. We rolling. I appreciate you coming by, man. Truly appreciate it. Yeah, we here, man. We definitely it's definitely a big win. Huge win. And I think especially considering who was against. To me, that's why I think it's huge. The way they've been smacking us around for the last couple of years, man, it's been insane. It's been insane. And so now to see us throttle them, that's the word I'm going to use, throttle. Last night was just beautiful, man. Beautiful. I mean, look at the score going into halftime. Look at the score. When we dropped 81 of them cats, man. 81. I mean, Brunson at 30 at halftime. Do you ever remember KD or Kyrie doing anything like that to us? Ever. Now, they beat us, yes, but not like that. Not like that. And to me, it's karma. And cats was talking crazy for years, man. They was talking crazy. Yankee for life. What's going on, man? I appreciate you coming by. I truly, truly do. We're gonna get into that Yankee talk too, man. Big moves they made. Big. I love the addition of Rodin. That should be huge. I think Volpe should be on his way up. I love Jason Dominguez. The Martian is huge. They got to give him a shot. I know he's down. He's only been in AAA or single A, but you know AAA is pretty much the closest one, right, to the MLB. So you know you got to give those two guys an opportunity because they got star power written all over them. And to me, if they're good enough and they're ripping it up in spring training like this, you got to bring them up. Throw them in the fire. The younger, the better. But I just think that it's karma, man. For the way them guys was talking crazy for all those years to the Knicks, about how it's not a New York City town no more. It's strictly about the Nets now. Just all the stuff they was talking, man. Talking crazy for years. But their team was stacked. Remember, their team was stacked even going back to when they had Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. They brought the whole Celtics over there. So they were stacked for a minute. So to see us go over there, have them come to the Garden and get mollywopped like that. Straight mushed in the face, like with the 5 fingers, you know what I mean? Old school. Sent them packing, sent them back over to Brooklyn, man. Get out of here. Go over the river, go over the bridge, Verzano, however you want to get there. Whatever. Get out of here. Nothing better. Nothing better. It's been a Knicks town. It's always been a Knicks town. That will never change. That will never change. So it was just beautiful to see, man. Beautiful. To me, the Knicks right now, I mean, I want you guys to chime in on this. Everybody, please. Outside of the Bucks, the Knicks are the hottest team in the league. The hottest team in the league. And they're showing that they can win any way. They're growing to be the favorite team. Right. They are. So to see exactly, what they're building. Oh man, I mean, from top to bottom, right? I'm top being Brunson and Randle, all the way down to iHeart. Talking about the guys that play. I don't want to change it. Guys are talking about maybe possibly bringing in. I don't want nothing to be touched. Now, what I do see happening, I do possibly see them in the summer getting some pieces. Probably Obi's going to have to go. I don't want that to happen. New York City kid, I don't. But in order to bring in a star, you got to give up something. IQ's not going anywhere. I think IQ has locked himself in. IQ's not going anywhere. Once again, pay attention to the guys who are Tibbs guys, right? Brunson, just because of family stuff, with his dad, everything. Randle, not Hart, Josh Hart, IQ, and Grimes. Those are Tibbs guys. Those guys aren't going anywhere. Anywhere. Deuce too. I do. I like Deuce, man. I do. I just think that there's certain guys that their skill set just doesn't. He's going to be a G League guy, but I think that he's going to wind up just staying on the Knicks because Tibbs likes him. But his skill set, you can see it, man. It kind of capped out. Sometimes he hits jumpers, sometimes he doesn't, right? He just plays with a lot of energy, right? He's an energy guy. Believe it or not, if Deuce was smart, you know what? If I was Deuce, what I would do, I would train with someone like Pat Bev. See, Pat Bev understood. He even said it. He said, "Listen, man, I understood that I wasn't going to be a guy that scores a lot of points in this league. So how do I make it to where I stay here, to where I continue to get a check, and I'm able to kind of keep a job?" He had to get tenacious on defense, do all the dirty stuff, pay attention to like screens, cut and roll, make layups here and there, get steals. And that's how he was able to solidify himself in the league, being a dog, right? Lunch pail guy, go hard. Remember, Deuce is what, 6'2"? Pat Bev's about the same size, same type of skill set. And Deuce has a little more edge to him too, because Deuce used to play football. So if I was Deuce, that's who I would train with. I would kind of reach out to him and say, "Yo, man, I kind of want to, kind of get a little insight." And Pat Bev can say, "This is the blueprint what you could do," because I think that's who Deuce can kind of get some. Because I think that's type of player Deuce is. Because one thing Pat Bev said one time, I heard him in an interview. I forget where it was, but it was maybe over the summer. I heard him say, "Listen, man, I understood my role. Like there's only one basketball, so I understood you're not going to be able to get certain shots up the way you want. That's not going to happen in this league. So the player that you was in high school and college and even overseas, you're not going to be in this league. There's too many good players and there's only one basketball. So most teams you have two alpha dogs. That's it. Everybody else has got to play a role. You got to have a rebounder. You got to have a guy to block shots. You got to have a guy that's going to defend." And you got to have a guy that's going to kind of do the dirty work, right? Pat Bev said, "I'm going to be the guy that's going to do the dirty work because I'm going to stay on the court. And then I could possibly get up a couple of shots here and there, do what I need to do." That's to me what Deuce needs to do. He needs to kind of get that. And once he kind of has that, believe it or not, he'll be on the floor a lot. Because then, for key moments in the game, Tibbs will sub him in for maybe a 3-minute stint to get tough defensive stops, dive and get loose balls. I mean, that's just the kind of, mentality and attitude that you got to have. Y'all appreciate that, man. That's right. Smack that like button, man, please. Also, two people, if you haven't come by, you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Truly appreciate it, man. I'm almost at 1,000 subs. Oh, man, it's been a long journey, man, but I appreciate all you guys who come by. Just chop it up with me, man. That's what I love doing. I love talking Knicks. You see Giants back there. Yanks also too, man. Love talking, New York sports, man. So I appreciate you guys coming by. But yeah, man. So I think that's where Deuce role could really fit in with this team, right? Because it's man, we already know who the alpha dogs are, right? It's gonna be Brunson. It's gonna be Randle. Period. Now, if they bring another guy in here, that's gonna knock RJ down a notch, right? And it might even knock Julius down a notch. Because if they bring another guy in, he's going to be the alpha, right? So if you bring, let's say, they get crazy and they're able to pull off a deal where they can bring a Devin Booker over here, right? Just because he's a CAA guy, they're able to pull him in. Let's say that don't work. Let's say they're able to kind of get a steal and use trade bait and all this other stuff and maybe pull on an Anthony Edwards, right? Let's say that happens. I know it's a stretch, but I'm just throwing it out there. You bring in another alpha, it's the pecking order, man. So guys are going to kind of chop down. So, so you just got to find your niche on this team. You know what I mean? You got to find your way. One thing, winning becomes contagious, man. And it doesn't matter what people's roles are. Yo, Tim, what's going on, man? Salute, brother. Thank you for coming back out. Bronx Harlem, always. I appreciate you coming by again, Tim. Thank you for coming by, man. Appreciate it. Winning is contagious. So what happens is it doesn't matter who's on that night. Actually RJ said that the other night, when they asked him about the game, he said, "Yo, man, when you're part of a winning team, it doesn't really matter really what your stats are, really what type of points you get up. I mean, for some guys, It is, right? But if you want to win, man, it doesn't matter, right? So, perfect example. When you get recruited out of high school, a lot of guys, this is both football and basketball, right? I do both. A lot of guys will go to University of South Carolina because they know they're going to be the man. They're going to get up a lot of shots. But they know they probably ain't going to win. But a lot of guys who are top tier players, they want to go to Duke, North Carolina, UCLA, Kansas, right? Of course, Kentucky, right? Even though they know they're going to be with a whole bunch of alpha dogs, they want to win. Like, they want to win. So they don't care. They know they're not going to be averaging 20. Most cats in college don't average 20. They might average between 17 to 18, 15, right? If you're the man. So cats don't care, man. They just want to win. But some dudes that want to put their numbers up, they're gonna go to a D1 school, but not a powerhouse. Right? So that's the thing. So when you go to a school, like RJ was a top recruit coming out. He was a 5-star. And if I'm correct, he might have been the number 1 player in the nation or number 2 player in the nation. He chose to go to Duke, but he could have went anywhere he wanted, anywhere, and been the man. He could have went to Michigan, over there with Juwan Howard. He could have went up there. He could have came up here to the city, to St. John's. He could have went to Texas, where they got a whole bunch of money, like Kevin Durant did, right? And been the man. Now, your team was going to be average. They wasn't going to be that good. But you know you're going to get your shots up. But do you want to go to a place where you're going to win? Right? So that's why guys go to Kentucky, they go to Duke, they go to Kansas, because they know, man, and they're okay with not scoring a whole bunch of points. Like, they're okay with that. So RJ's point the other night was, listen, man, when you're winning and you're part of this coach, you got to understand that sometimes your night, it's not going to be your night. Like Randle, he started off hot, but, Brunson started taking over. So Randle had to kind of fall back because, listen, tonight is his night. And when you're winning, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. And what I'm seeing is that guys are starting to get that winning culture, right? Guys just want to win. You got to love. I mean, you have to love, man. And it's infectious what Josh Hart brings to his team. I mean, to see the tenacity that he plays with on defense, the way he's diving for loose balls, the way he's stealing things, the way he's just doing the little things. I saw last night, a guy had the rebound. He jumped on the side of the guy, ripped the rebound out, and kicked it out to another guy. That stuff, you can't coach that. That's just effort, man. But then there was the same play later on where Obi did the same thing. He dove and reached for the ball and threw it back, and the Knicks got the ball back. Where do you think Obi get that from? He got that from Josh. It's contagious, man. It's contagious. And once the expectation is set of the effort that you have to put to kind of get wins here, absolutely. Timmy's absolutely John Starks 2.0. Absolutely. Starks was the same way. Starks was tenacious, man. In your grill, in your face, in your chest. He used to be in Jordan's chest all day. And that's why he got the poster, right? Right? So I'm just saying. So when you have that, and you have that type of winning culture and guys understand that, it's contagious, man. It's contagious. Because at the end of the day, man, guys just want to win. They just want to win, period. They just want to win. Because now, with winning comes accolades, right? You can't get accolades if your team stinks, especially in this league. And here's another thing, too. If your team stinks and you're not that good of a player, you might be out the league. So it's good to be on a winning team where you're playing. Because if you're winning, other teams are going to see the type of player that you are because your team is constantly in the mix. So you're making your trade value go up, right? Perfect example. Who's the guy from Boston? Number 12. Is his last name Brown? Not Brown. I forget his name. He's number 12. He comes off the bench. Husky, light-skinned cat. He's about 6'5", strong. I forget his name. If anybody knows his name, put his name in the Grant Williams. Tim, thank you. You're the man. You're the man. I got to put the X's up. You know what I mean, Tim? I got to put the X's up. They said in the game the other night because of how he plays with them. Now, he don't score a lot of points, but Boston's been winning. And they went to the finals last year, and he played an important piece and was an important cog to what it is that they do, right? Ume Udokas and how they run defense and all that stuff. They said that he's going to be a free agent this summer, and he's going to probably demand $20 million a season. How? How is he going to get $20 million a season? But you know why? Because he's part of a winning organization over there. His games are always on TV. They see the impact that he has on the court with the team. So now other teams feel like, listen, that's a nice piece. He's like, I don't want to say this, but he's like a poor man's Draymond Green, right? So a team feels like he's a nice glue piece to what it is that we want to do, because not everybody can score the basketball. Now, when he gets open, he knocks down threes. He does that. But he rebounds, he plays defense, he gets after it. So those are the type of guys that teams want. Like teams need guys like that, because they understand, with the Bucks, Giannis is going to get his with the Suns. KD and Booker, they're going to get theirs, right? Golden State, Steph's going to get his, the list goes on, right? You guys know what I'm getting at. So they need a glue guy or a Draymond Green type of guy. And if any team can find that, those guys are getting big time money, man. So that tells you right there. So you don't have to score the ball to get paid in this league. And I said it earlier, I mentioned earlier, Pat Bev proved that, right? So he's getting big time money, right? So you just got to find your niche, man. You got to find your niche. And I think that everybody with the Knicks roles are getting solidified now. Like, guys understand what they're in there to do. You don't see anybody in there with the Knicks so far trying to do extra stuff. Josh Hart don't try to do extra stuff. He ain't trying to bring the ball up and chucking threes. He ain't doing that. He's moving the ball around, going to his spot, crashing boards. That's what he's doing. Big Mitch ain't out there trying to shoot threes. He's getting rebounds, blocking shots. IQ knows what he has to do. He has to score the ball, but if you notice, IQ's a two-way player. He also locks it in defensively as well. So guys know their roles. Grimes understands when I get the ball, knock down these tray balls, right? Also, too, I got to defend. RJ understands every time I get the ball, I got to go downhill. I'm attack. I'm a scoring guard. I'm a scoring wing. So everybody knows their role. iHeart knows. I come in, I give intensity, I get rebounds, I hack a couple of dudes. He's like an upgraded Bill Laimbeer. Okay, let's keep it a buck, right? That's a fact, right? He's an upgraded Bill Laimbeer, okay? So that's what iHeart does. So everybody knows their role. Obi knows. Okay, I ain't here trying to get crazy with it. I'm a slasher. I go to the rim. I go to the corner. I hit a couple of threes. I rebound. I block shots. When we get steals, I'm out on the wing. I'm running the lanes like James Worthy back in his prime. Hit him with a bounce pass, maybe get an alley-oop dunk or something, right? So you have that. Okay, let me see. What you got here, Tim? That's crazy because he's not deserving of that. His game is not that good for that kind of money. Agreed. They know the roles. That's why we're seeing the success of this team taking off shocking. Right, absolutely. But he's getting that money because he's not going to go to a bum team. Well, unless they want to give him money, right? Unless they want to pay him. If he leaves Boston, he'd probably go to a contender, man. Like, I could see him going to someone who's really trying to win, like maybe someone like the Clippers, because they need a glue guy like that, right? The Morris brothers used to be guys like that, but they're getting older now. So every team needs a guy like the Morris brothers, right? Like glue guys like that who are hard-nosed, who bang, who get rebounds, and it just so happens they're from Philly, you know what I'm saying? So they play hard-nosed basketball. So they're glue guys. They don't need the ball in their hands to make impacts. Now, they're not the same as they were when they first came in the league. They're older now. But I'm just saying, that's important, man, for the league today, especially teams that want to win. You need a glue guy. Like, perfect example, right? Drew Holiday is not, like, he can score the ball. He's an all-star. But do you worry about Drew Holiday getting 25 or 30 a night? No. Like, you don't worry about that. but he's a glue guy. You know he's going to lock in defensively. He's going to knock down shots. And he's going to do like the little things, right? Once again, he's a glue guy. The scorers on that team is Giannis and Middleton. Those are the guards. Those are the dogs. And Brook Lopez at times, and then Drew Holiday adds in, right? So I'm just saying. So they have just a cohesive unit, man. That's why they really roll off. What was it, 15 in a row now? They're tough to beat. And they just added another glue guy in Jay Crowder. Because when you got guys like that, he makes it easy for the Greek Freak, man. He don't really have to guard the hardest guy. He can take a break on defense. And let Jay Crowder get the toughest wing. Let Drew Holiday get the toughest guard. And now Greek Freak can float. And contender not going to pay him $20 million more, like $15 million. Right. Well, they said, okay, they said he was going to demand or probably ask for $20 million. Now, of course he could work it out. You know what I'm saying? But my point is this. Do you think he should be getting anywhere between $15 to $20 million a year? I don't think so. I think he's lower. Like, I think maybe $8 or $9 million, right? I think that, but he's talking 15 and 20. It's a lot of cream for him, right? But it's just because of the role that he plays, man. And his thing, he don't even start. He come off the bench. That tells you how important those guys are in this league. And what's beautiful is that the Knicks are starting to get that. So that's why, last night happened the way it did. It happened the way it did because the Knicks understand, those guys on the team understand their roles. The Nets don't know that just yet. They know who the dog is. They know who the top dog is, and that's Jalen Brunson. They know second to him is Randle. After that is RJ. List goes on. Right? So that's why the Knicks now, they're starting to really identify who they are. Right? Last year, RJ was trying to be the man, and Julius was trying to be the man. It wasn't working. Brunson's coming in and squashed all that. He said, nah, I'm taking a hat. I'm the man. Right? So now it's kind of like, everyone's kind of figuring out. Oh, not figuring out. I'm change that. Everyone has been able to identify what their role is on his team and been able to magnify it and play better than they've ever played. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Tim Randall did put that team meeting together. I think it was probably to really probably have a conversation, man. Because sometimes you need to pull guys' coattails. I've been in locker rooms where you have arguments and you got to tighten it up with cats. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, as you know, we all men in here. So, so maybe some females in here, I apologize. But in the men locker rooms, sometimes, fist punches get thrown. You know what I mean? Like, you got to let them squash it like that. You know what I mean? They shoot the fair one, they squash it. In the showers and all that. You know what I'm saying? Guys, they get it on, man. Without no coaches around. That's just the truth. People don't want to hear that, but that's what happens. And sometimes you have to do that to identify and say, yo, man, look, dogs, you got to fall in line. There's no iron team. We don't care what you think you are. You know what I'm saying? This is what you are for this team. And I think that's what the Knicks have been able to identify. And sometimes it's probably to the point where Tibbs don't have to sit. They police themselves. So it's an understanding, right? And then also, too, the dynamic, too, man, is they know Tibbs don't play, man. They know he don't play. Perfect example why I say Tibbs don't play. Last game against the Celtics, RJ went baseline and threw some BS. You remember that? He threw some BS. It was a baseline pass. I was like, dogs, where are you going, man? What are you doing? It's an 8-point lead. We're trying to close this game out. What are you doing? Celtics came down and scored, cut the lead. I think they cut it to 9 or 8, something crazy. They came back at the timeout. RJ was on the bench. They just paid that boy $100 million. They put him on the bench. You know why? Because Tibbs is like, yo, man, all that. Like, that's not happening. We're not doing that. The guys are being held accountable. And that was the beef that we all had last year. I knew at least I had, was that I felt guys weren't being held accountable for whatever, especially Randle. And that was the issue. But now I think guys know, like, they're being held accountable. And sometimes, you don't got to be held accountable by the coaches, but you're being held accountable by your teammates. Guys might say something to dudes in the locker room, like, yo, my man, you bugging the fuck out, man. You need to chill out. They probably have a couple words and, they squash it. But, the respect is there. It don't matter how much money you make. It's about playing the game the right way. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what it's all about, man. Period. But I think what we really have to do here, and I think that people have, let me not say that. But, yo, man, you got to really give big shouts to Tibbs, man. Tibbs and those guys. Listen, they've really weathered the storm here. You got to. And listen, man, I've been killing Tibbs. Trust me. But he's obviously been listening. Because guys have been saying, a lot of people, including me, we got to play the kids, right? He's playing them now. And I know all of us are saying hallelujah, right? Because look at the production of IQ. Look at the production of Grimes, right? The only person we wish to play more now is Obi, but that's not happening because Randle's playing out of his mind this year, right? So I get it, right? Why he's not going to get that many minutes with over Randle. Randle's the man right now. He's all NBA, man. You gotta fall back on that. But you gotta take your hat off to him, man, because now he's playing the kids, and now you're seeing the results of that. Period. You got to salute that. He even started Jericho Sims during that time, right? He could have started Arhart. He started Jericho Sims. Jericho Sims has been playing better, right? He even started, before we got Josh Hart. Deuce was playing a lot, right? So Deuce had some solid minutes during this time, right? So he's been playing them. He's been playing the kids, man. And listen, they've been making a huge impact. They have been. So you got to really commend him for that. So obviously he's been listening, and obviously he's been really trying to switch up his ways of doing things. I think Tibbs is always going to be Tibbs, but he's changing with the times. If you want my honest opinion about the unsung hero of this team, I got to give it to IQ, man. His production off the bench since December 4th, right? Since then, he's been averaging 15 points off the bench, right? And if you remember when Brunson went down for those couple of games, and him and Randle was trying to hold the ship together with tape. Remember, IQ was going off when he was starting. Remember, he was averaging like 20-something. Remember, he was going off. He's an unsung hero, man. Big time. Big time. What he gives us off the bench, we already know what Josh Hart is. We already know that. What IQ gives us off the bench, we don't miss a beat. That's what's helped us. So when Brunson goes out, because we already know who Brunson is. But when Brunson goes out, most times for most teams in this league, when a star player goes out like him, things, your team drops down. We haven't been able to drop down. We don't skip a beat. And I got one better. We might even be playing better. And every time IQ pulls it, he's pulling the trigger, I'm like, yo, it's going in. I don't think once that he's missing. He's shooting a high percentage from all over the floor, man. And he's making the right decisions with the pill. He's great at the foul line. Oh, man, he locks it up defensively. He gets after it. Like, he's been an unsung hero, man. Listen, we all know the MVP of the team to me is Brunson, right? We understand that. But if you want to be honest, second to me is IQ. People are going to say Randle. I don't know. We've seen this from Randle before, right? We all know. We talked about last time, right? Last live. Randle's had to get his therapist on the sideline. That's what straightened out Randle. So we know who Randle is. But what IQ is doing, the Knicks going to have to lock him in this summer, man. They're going to have to lock him in big time. Because I'm telling you, the teams are licking their chops. They're seeing what he's doing. Because he's killing a lot of dudes off the bench. I know teams are like, yo, man, the Knicks got to steal with him. Because they can't nobody stay in front of him. He be boogieing on everybody. And he got that running down pat. And he come off that screen, yo, man, them threes is water, splash. And a lot of times that's what happens. If you notice, guys, the Knicks, they kind of cut, some teams will cut the lead down to 6, maybe 5, like a couple of these games. Then IQ will come around and come off a screen and hit a 3. Bang, put the Knicks back up by 3. Put the Knicks back up by 10 or 11 or whatever. He's been exceptional this year. Exceptional, right? And I really truly think he's an unsung hero. I really, really do. What you got here, Tibbs? Either Dolan had a talk with Tibbs or Dolan confronted the front office and told them, y'all better talk to Tibbs before he gets fired. Yo, you know what? You're absolutely right. I don't even think it got to Dolan. I don't think it got that far. I think that, because remember, Leon and those guys are tight, man. So I think that Leon and Worldwide West had a long talk and probably talked to Tibbs. Like, listen, man, if we're not going to get anybody, you got to play these young guys. Because possibly we could use them as trade bait or whatever. We got a lot of picks, but we got to play these guys. We got to play what we have. We can't be trying to, you know what I mean? We can't play these old dudes. We got to play these young guys. And I think that Tibbs, based on what happened last year, I think he had no choice. And I don't even think too much it was really Leon and Worldwide West kind of forcing his hand. I think sometimes, man, it's just the situation, right? What happened last year was just a representation. Listen, man, you got to change things up. Or to your point, Tim, you're out of here. So I think that's what happened last year had a big impact. He realized he had to change things up. I don't even think really Dolan got that far. Because Dolan mentioned it in an interview that he had that he tries to stay away from it. He lets those guys really handle it. And remember, Leon and Tibbs are tight, man. They real tight. Because remember, Leon used to represent Tibbs, right? So they go back. They go way back. So I'm sure they probably spoke, as friends. Right? I said, yo, man, gotta play these guys. Listen, so Tibbs probably said, all right. So I think that's what, what happened there. And sometimes you don't even have to really get too really in deep about it. Sometimes you just look and say, look, man, look what happened last year. So what's the definition of insanity? Doing something over and over again, right? Expecting a different result. So maybe we need to change it up. And I think that's what Tibbs did, right? Because perfect example, guys, look, he ain't like Cam Reddish, right? We all know that. We all know the story. He started Cam Reddish this year. So that tells you he was trying to change it up. It's just that he was looking for anything to bench Cam Reddish because he ain't like him. So, that experiment lasted but didn't last really that long. So, but guys, let me ask you something. Listen, everybody, please chime in. Are the Knicks right now a championship contender? Are we? All right, before I go there, can we win the East? Can we? Anybody? I think we can. Our toughest out is going to be Milwaukee. I think we could beat Boston. We showed that the other night, even though Jalen Brown was down. Remember, we beat them last time when they had Jalen Brown. He missed the free throws. They didn't have Marcus Smart, but we still beat them. We beat Boston the last 2 times. They're the number 2 seed. We've already beat Philly. Right? Yo, what up, man? Whatever, I know what's going on, man. I appreciate you coming by. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. But I appreciate you coming by, man. I truly, truly do. Thank you, Rondo, for coming by, man. I really, really, truly appreciate it. Trust me. So to me, I think we can knock off. Definitely, I think we can knock off Cleveland. But the top dogs, because everybody says, right? Everybody says on all these shows, everybody says the 3 teams are Milwaukee, Boston, Philly. Can the Knicks knock off any of those 3? I think we can knock off all 3. The toughest out to me is Milwaukee. They represent size, and it's just about matchups. They got somebody for everybody we got. Right? Now, I know I'm going too far right now. But this is how this team is making me feel, guys. It's making me feel good inside. Let's hear what we got. Yeah, we can. This team reminds me of the Detroit Pistons championship team for 2004. Right. They shocked the world. Who would have thought they would have? Right. Very true. They would have knocked off the Lakers. They would have won that destroyed that dynasty. Stopped it. Ronald, just like boxing, it's about matchups. It is. It is about matchups. So Milwaukee poses a big threat to us. They do. They have everybody for what we like to do. They got somebody for Brunson and Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday locks up, man. He locks up. That's why he was an all-star this year, man. He could defend. And he's big, too. He's not like 6'1". He's 6'4". Seeing him in person. He's a legit 6'4", maybe 6'5". He's big. And he's like strong. Like he's not like skinny. Like he's got some weight to him. So you got him. We already know the Greek Freak. Greek Freak's probably gonna defend Randle. If they put Jay Crowder on Randle, we got some help. We should be good. But I don't know. They put Greek Freak on Randle, Jay Crowder's probably gonna get RJ. But then they got Middleton. Remember, Middleton's 6'7", 6'8". Grimes can't check him, man. He's too big. And every big wing that Grimes tried to check has scorched Grimes. And you got Mitch on Brook Lopez. He's a stretch 5. So they're tough, man. They're tough. Then you got Bobby Portis coming off the bench, right? Then you got the other kid. I forget him. He's a white kid. I forget his name. His name starts with an H, right? I think he comes off the bench, shoots a lot of threes from the corner. You got him. Do they still got what's the name from Duke? Forget his name. He was a headache, man. He's always doing crazy fouls. I forget his name. Right? So matching up with the Bucks, it's tough, man. Very tough. Very, very tough. It's just they got everybody for what we need, and they're vets. They know how to win the game. Do I think the Knicks could do it? The way this team is playing, I think anything could happen. They've made me a believer now. But to get out of the East, okay, it would have to take for someone else to knock off the Bucks. Maybe someone gets injured, something crazy happens, and they knock off the Bucks. If they knock off the Bucks, I think the Knicks can win the East. I think we can. I think we can beat Boston. I think we can knock them off. I don't think Boston is as good as people think. I think they're good, but I think matchups as far as we go, because they have nobody for Brunson. Nobody. They probably put Marcus Smart on him and stuff like that, but Marcus Smart, he's good defensively, but he's not what Drew Holiday is, man. Drew Holiday's different, man. He's different. I think Drew Holiday is a little better defender than Marcus Smart. Yes, Marcus Smart got Defensive Player of the Year. I get that. But just me, with the eye test, watching basketball, Drew Holiday's tough. He's really tough. He's really, really tough. He's a tough check. But they have nobody for Randle. Nobody for Randle. Randle cooks Al Horford every single time. They have nobody for Randle. Nobody. In their bench, as they showed, they got Brogdon. We got IQ. They have nobody for Josh Hart and his activity. Grant Williams cannot check Randle. And no one wants to check Randle. Nobody. So, and we got the middle two. Big Mitch was dominating the other big boy with the dreads. I forget his name. Sorry. So I think we got Boston. Philly's tough because Joel Embiid, they got good wings. We have nobody to check on James Harden. James Harden does what he wants. Tobias Harris plays when he wants. Maxi and IQ are like mirror images of each other, right? So, but once again, they have nobody for Randle. And that's why Randle's been killing. And he's been identifying who they can't check me. So now he dominates. So Philly's tough. Philly's tough to beat in 7, but I think the Knicks could do it. There you go. Right. If RJ starts coming, RJ, once again, man, like I said last time, my last live, he's 22 years old, man. He goes through these emotional roller coasters, right? Sometimes someone's got to make it simpler for RJ. Don't have the mindset that I got to score to make an impact. You don't need to. You can get deflections, rebounds, steals, blocks, and that can ignite your offense. You get fouled, you hit a couple of free throws. Free throws, a lot of times, guys, people don't want to pay attention to them, but for scorers, it's very important. I know for me, it was important to see the ball go through the rim. Get a couple of free throws, then you come up a couple of screens, hit a couple of jump shots, bang. Then you're like, okay, because now you see the ball go through the net. So to me, that's what has to happen with RJ. But he's so young, he just thinks that, like I got to score the rock to make an impact. And a lot of times you don't. All right, Tim. He definitely can do different things to impact the game. Exactly. He's got the skill set to do it. He's shown he can do it. You know. Rondo. Exactly. Play good defense, RJ. Get to the free throw line. Exactly. Exactly. That's what you have to do, man. And let it flow. He's a gifted player, man. He didn't get this far. You remember, once again, I keep on telling you, he's big, man. He's a big wing. RJ is about 6'6", 6'7". He's not. He's big. So he's gifted. So he has to understand that about his game, right? He can score the pill, like we all know that. But now, teams are kind of like they're scheming for him. So he's got to be smart and kind of make the right basketball decisions when he's out there, not just automatically just say, all right, I'm just putting my head down, I'm going to the rack. Then he starts making bad decisions like he did in Boston the other night, and Tibbs yanked his ass. Excuse me, Tibbs yanked him. I said, yo, man, chill out. And here's the thing, guys, you can't get mad because we're winning. And he said that the other night. He's maturing, man. He's maturing. What I think, here's what's going to help RJ. This summer, he can work with his trainer a little bit, but he needs to play more pickup basketball. And I'm not talking you playing against like scrubs in Toronto, your friends and shit. Like, you got to go to Rico Hines out there in Cali, or right here over here at Black Ops, where Melo and them be at. Open gym. You got to play with them cats, man. You got to really, really work on your game. Because then, when you come in, you start playing with the season. It's not going. You're not going to feel like, because when you're just playing with your trainer, you getting up shots, you just doing the motions and working on things with a shadow or with like a what they use? They use like a football pad. Like they use one of those. You like as if that's a defender. That's not the same. You got to play in the game. You got to play pickup. You got to do that. It's going to make your game better. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't. I have a feeling he didn't do it this summer, maybe because he was worried about getting his contract, so he didn't want to get hurt, maybe. But now he's got his money this summer. That's what he's got to do. That's the only way you're going to get better. Because remember, Randle be playing with them cats. He be playing up at Black Ops. He be playing up there with them. He be getting better, man. He's gotten better with his game. Especially with that 3. Randle's killing this shit, man. But you can see he works on his game. You can see it. So it's exciting, man. It's really, really exciting. I think the Heat game, if the Knicks come in locked in, I think we should knock them off easy. I don't think it's going to be a tough out. No, I don't think it's going to be a problem. The Heat are rattled, man. They got a lot of internal stuff going on. I don't know if they're all mentally there, man. Remember, they're an older team, man. So they got a couple of young guys, but they're all older guys. They're all older guys, so I don't know if I think their legs are just shot. Just they don't. They got Bam. Bam is official, but outside of they got Tyler Hero, right? But outside of that, Jimmy Butler's old, man. He's an older player. Kyle Lowry, I think he's still out. I don't know if he's playing or what. And then remember, they got Udonis Haslem on the bench. He plays sometimes. He's like a dinosaur, man. So I don't know. Tim, he definitely needs to play in more pickup games with pro players to help take his game to. Yeah, absolutely, Tim. That's what I'm saying. He's got to do that more often. I don't think he's doing that. Because the game doesn't come fluid. Like, it's not fluid for him like it is for Randle. And they're both lefties. Randle is just playing ball. RJ's it's like he's thinking out there sometimes. All right, this is the move I should make because this is what I did with my trainer. You know what I mean? Randle ain't doing that. He just balling. He sees the guys playing him off like that. He's like, oh, man, you bugging. I'm pulling this. Or if you see a guy got his back, he knows how to draw that foul too. He got that lefty awkward joint where a guy gets arm on, he do that pump fake and boom. He got that from James Harden. I think he stole a little bit of that from Brunson. That's who Brunson plays like. There we go. I've been trying to figure out all season. He plays like James Harden, but a smaller version. That's why he's so hard to defend. See, Harden's big. He's about 6'5", but he does the Euro and he does all this herky-jerky movement with it. He knows how to. It's like a mirage, man. He knows how to shake you up because you don't know where he's going because of how he steps. So that's why he gets all them fouls drawn. It's like he tricks you into fouling him. Then he gets you with that Harden shake. You know what I mean? He steps back takes like 5 steps back, pulls for 3, and bang. So he's crafty with the rock, man. He knows how to do it. That's who Brunson plays like, a smaller version of Harden. And that's why he's hard to check, man. Because he's crafty with the pill. You know who's crafty like that too? Kenny Anderson. He was also crafty like that. He's hard to check, man. Them lefties are, but that's if you're nice with off the bounce. Right? Harden's got handle. And Brunson's got handle too. So them guys, and Kenny Anderson had handle too. Anybody from New York City know that. So he's hard to check. That's who Brunson plays like. He plays like Harden. Right, Tim, I heard RJ broke up with his girlfriend. You think that could be a problem? How he's thinking? How you heard that? Tim, you was out of something? You was out in the spot? Where you heard that at? Tim, you was out in the streets. Tim, someone told you that? Oh. Earl the Pearl Marone also did moves like Brunson. Agreed. Ashley, what's going on, man? How you doing? Appreciate you coming by, man. Thank you for coming by. Yo, Tim, who told you that, Tim? Tim, you out there, man. You was out in them spots? Because you know they be partying late at night. Someone whispered to you, yo, man, you know RJ broke up with his girl, B. Word? Yeah, that's why he been playing bad. Oh, man, there's trouble in paradise? That's crazy, man. Yo, someone need to hook him up with them IG models, man. They on Instagram heavy. Just keep them away from the Kardashians. Do not bring. Don't tell Kim Kardashian. Keep them away. If anybody out in the city, they see the Kardashians lingering around. Oh man, yo, you gotta send them to a different spot. Send them downtown to like Meatpacking District, man. Keep them away from RJ. Tim, yeah, they said it during the game. One of the commentators, I think it was Clyde or Mike. Time out. Clyde said that. What game was that? I hear that. Clyde said that during the game. He said RJ broke up with his girl. What's wrong with Clyde getting old, man? He said that. Yo, what Clyde putting everybody's business out there, man? If RJ probably didn't want nobody to know that he ain't with his shorty no more. It was on Monday? That's crazy, man. Ahmad Gamble, what's going on, man? How you doing? I appreciate you coming by, man, in my LV Live show, man. Please, if anybody hasn't subscribed, please subscribe. I appreciate you guys coming through. I truly do, man. I love this basketball talk. I'm from the 90s. We on the rise, baby. Of course. Of course, of course, of course, of course, of course. Go, Tim, that's crazy, man, if they said that on our television. That's wild. That's wild that they said that. Because that's you know, that's behind the scenes stuff. They might have heard that in passing or something. Oh, so Clyde kind of got slick with it. Like, yeah, he probably, he broke up his girl. Yeah. Clyde, wow, he getting old. Man. They need to get him off. I love Clyde, but come on, if he's slipping up, can't be slipping up like that, man. Tim got to hold it down, right? Wow, man. Like, Clyde, chill, hold it down, Clyde. Because Clyde be riding RJ. He be blasting him like, he worst defensive player on the team. Clyde probably, what's crazy? Clyde probably pulled him to the side and said, yo, man, what's up, young blood? He probably said that to him. He's like, nah, man, my shorty wild. He said, yo, you ain't with your shorty no more? Yeah, she bugging out. That's probably what RJ said. That's probably the conversation that probably happened. Like, she wild, man. She know. Gave her 20 racks to go to Dubai. Now she want 50 racks to go to Greece. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, chill. Clyde probably said, yo, young blood, that's how it be sometimes. Clyde get on the radio, on the game. He like, yeah, man, RJ playing like crap. He broke up with his girl. So, telling everybody. That's crazy. Oh, yeah, that's why he probably said it. RJ not performing the way he's supposed to. Yo, word. See, Clyde old cat, man. He old cat, man. He old time. I remember my pops told me, man, he used to have a couple of I think either liquor store like downtown in Harlem. Clyde, an old player, man. He been doing this a long time. He been the city heavy a long time, B. We going back to the 70s now. We going back, Nicky Barnes days and all that. Anybody know New York City? Clyde was out there, partying and stuff. So he know all the old gangsters, all of them. So Clyde probably pulled his coattail like, yo, young blood, come on, man. Yo, Clyde bugging, man. But now, I mean, I don't know. I mean, listen, man, everybody got personal. Remember, Randle said he had personal stuff going on last year, too. That's why he's crazy. These guys are human beings, man. I mean, these things happen. I mean, I can't really touch on that, man. He's a young cat, man. He got to figure it out. Listen, just keep the Kardashians away from him. That's all I'm going to say. If that is true, if that's what's going on, I do not want to hear that the Kardashians was in Miami watching the Knicks play. Because remember, Lala's out here heavy. She's tight with them. I don't want them whispering to her. She's like, yeah, come to Knicks game. And they out there on the sideline. If they on the sideline, B, I'm telling you, I'm going next game. I'm blowing shit. I'm blowing it up. Because they get into him, it's over. So RJ going to shave his head. RJ going to have tattoos on his face. He be looking like Kanye, man, wilding out. Covering his face. Remember, Lamar Odom was with them. Lamar Odom was doing drugs like crazy, man. The only one that escaped the Kardashians was Reggie Bush. He's the only one that got up out of there safe. Everyone else finished. Tristan Thompson going through, crazy, man. Stay away. Tim, hopefully he can bounce back from that and get focused to play the game the right way. Yeah, man, listen, man, he's a young player, man. He's going to be fine. I trust that he's going to be all right. Right? Listen, man, basketball is a game of games of it's a game of high and lows. You're going to have it some nights you're not. So you got to be able to play through it. That's why I said earlier, he's got to be able to kind of identify what's going on with this game. Perfect example. If he's hitting his jumper, if he's missing his jumper, you realize he's off. He's short. Let's say he's jumping short tonight. Go to the rack. Go to get to the foul line, shoot a couple free throws. Make a couple of layups. If you realize guys are kind of playing you for the drive, hit the little floater in the paint like he does. So you got to adjust. That's part of the game. And so that's the development that he's got to go through as a player. And I think when he does that, he's going to be fine, man. But, he's going through his little growing pains. But also, too, remember, guys, he's got to kind of get used to playing with Brunson, too. It's been easier for Randle. Randle's an older player. He's more mature than RJ. And remember, Randle's he's like a stretch four. So everything with him is down in the box or sometimes shooting a three. RJ's, like a 2 or a 3. He's got to have the ball in his hand and really kind of, do things off the bounce. So their games are different, right? So that's why it's been a crazy adjustment. And also, too, the thing that's different from Randle and RJ is Randle crashes them boards. You see what I'm saying? So if Randle ain't got nothing going on, he's crashing the boards, getting offensive rebounds, putting it back up strong, getting end ones. He's doing that. But once again, but Randle's big, man. Randle's a bigger guy. Randle's about 6'8", 6'9", man. I've seen him stand next to dudes. I think he might be like 6'10". I think he's bigger than that. He's about 6'10". He's big. He's big and he's strong. So he gets rebounds. He's cleaning up the backboard. I mean, he's getting about 11 boards a game. Something like that. So, he's a force down there. So if his shot's not falling, Randle goes in that bar, he starts getting rebounds and starts really kind of, that's what gets his game going, right? So RJ's got to understand that. But all in all, man, I mean, you got to be happy with what we're doing and how we look. I'm extremely happy. I do think that there's still a lot of room for us to grow. But I do like they're becoming a family, man. They're becoming a brotherhood, right? When I played, that was the most important thing for me, right? Building that brotherhood within that locker room, holding each other accountable, playing hard for each other. And that's important because when you get into those tough games, those grind them out games, certain guys may not have it tonight. What puts you over the edge is the bond that you have with them cats. Not with the coaches, the bond that you have with them cats. Tim Randle about 6'9", 16, definitely strong and hard to do. Yeah, he's big, man. He's big. I don't think he's 6'8". I think he's bigger than that. Because I've seen him stand next to dudes that were 6'8". He's bigger than that. He's big, man. And when he stands next to guys that are like legit 6'10", he's like eye to eye with them cats. So that's because remember our heart is about 6'10", 6'11". Randle and him about the same size. So only one that's like taller than Randle is Big Mitch. So, but yeah, man, I love the brotherhood that they're building there, right? They're building great camaraderie with each other, and that's where they're playing hard. They're playing hard for each other, and they're taking on the identity that Brunson has put in place. And now it doesn't take Johnny Bryant, it doesn't take Tibbs, it doesn't take the other guys on the coaching staff to really tell them or hold them accountable. Because now they're playing basketball and they're playing as a team. And I think that when you do that, then you start winning games. And when you start winning games, it becomes infectious. And then after that, you don't want to start losing. And once you lose a game, you're gonna say, okay, let's get back to basics, right? One thing Tibbs did say, which was kind of like a great thing, a beautiful thing, was that guys, he doesn't have to tell guys to go to the gym. Like guys are going to the gym by themselves and getting shots up. Remember, they already left for Miami. I think they left it wasn't last night. They left this morning. So they're already out there. So they're probably up there getting up shots today and get up shots tomorrow morning to be ready for Friday night against the Heat. So that type of stuff, man, you can't coach that. Those are just guys that want it. And once you start winning, man, that joint is infectious. I'm telling you. And then guys, they really start identifying, okay, what's their weak points and things that they want to work on to become better ball players. And that's stuff that the coaches, they don't tell these guys to do. They do it by themselves. And then sometimes too, cats hold dudes accountable and say, "Yo, my man, yo, B, listen, you're not working on your jump shot. You off. Go to the rack. Yo, you supposed to cut here. Why you ain't cut?" Like they talking at each other. Tibbs ain't got to say nothing. And you see that happening times during the game. I've seen iHeart and I've seen Josh Hart like talking about, yo, you're supposed to go here, you're supposed to go here. I've seen Randle say it with IQ. I've seen IQ and Brunson. I've seen, switch swap, what I've seen Josh Hart pull slips of mine. Pull Obi to the side and say, listen, yo, man, you gotta boom boom woo woo. Obi's like, okay, my bad, I got you. Building a team here. Building a team. Which is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And that sounded kind of like something that I'm just happy that we have. You know what I'm saying? Hold on 1 second, guys. Apologize, my computer's about to die, fellas. So I had to get a charger here. Hold on 1 second. All right, cool, and we're back. All right, cool. Um, so all in all, I mean, I think that's kind of like what's happening. I love the stats that are being put out. There's a lot of guys that have a lot of stats in regards to, where we're at as far as defensive efficiency. We're top 10 in that. Offensive efficiency, we're top 10 in that. So it shows that we're an elite team, right? So all those things matter. But it doesn't matter if you're not winning games. And I think that the Knicks have been able to learn how to win. Like that's the key. Like how do you close out games? Remember last year, guys, they couldn't get out of their own way. Remember, there were certain times that they were pretty much, like they'd come out the third quarter, it would be like they was out to lunch. But now they're putting their foot on their necks, right? The other teams, right? They're knocking them out. They're not playing any games, and they're holding on to leads. And once again, I think that now they're starting to identify, championship pedigrees. Now, of course, they haven't won a championship yet, but Josh Hart and Brunson have in college, and those are things that I think, it's a culture, man. You know what I'm saying? That you're teaching other guys what it's like to win and what it takes. And it's infectious. It is. Okay, Tim, I'm sorry. Okay, I like that Tibbs mentioned that they play hard and practice against each other. Yeah. Well, it's like once again, it's like a brotherhood, man. If you guys have any brothers, you play hard against your brother, right? You play hard, and they push you to be the best. Sometimes they give you hard fouls, harder than others. But that's because they want you to be the best. But when it's time to go to war, man, they're going to be cheering for you and want the best for you. And that's what you want. And through that, they're able to really establish, a winning culture. And I think that that's important, right? Because now, when they do bring guys in, they bring in a guy like, a Devin Booker, any other star, guys, a young star, anybody that comes in, they have to conform to what the Knicks are doing. They don't do their own thing. They got to conform to how the Knicks play and what it is. And then it's understood that if you don't do this, you're not going to play. Once guys understand that And once guys know that all guys are being held accountable, period. Killer Dog, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming by. Winning culture is absolutely a necessity nowadays. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's infectious, man. I can't, if you guys have ever played on a sports team, you ever played on any team, basketball, anybody, if any of you guys have, put a thumbs up. It's nothing better than winning. Now, you learn when you lose. Like, I get all that. But when you're winning, that feeling, you never want it to go away. And there's nothing better than being the king of the hill. And nobody can knock you off. But a lot of times teams can't knock you off because they're not willing to put in what you're willing to put in to be that. Right? There's only one way to be great. There's a whole bunch of ways to be mediocre and average. There's a whole bunch of ways. But there's only one door you can go in to be great. Only one. That's it. That's it. There's no back door. There's no secret elevator. It's only one way, man. That's it. You can be average. Of course, there's a whole bunch of average cats walking around. But if you want to be great, man, you want to win, this is what it takes. Now, you want to do that? Period. It's not by accident LeBron is who he is. It's not by accident. Yeah, he's got the God-given talent, but he could have been a bum if he ain't put the work in. Same thing with Melo and all them cats. But you had to put the work in. You got to put the work in, man. And so, like Tibbs is saying, they play hard against each other in practice. They come hard. They don't have, because now they understand the blueprint. That's it. And it's like also too, guys, remember this. When you have that mentality and you have that, there's no exceptions. Like, it's no like, I'm gonna take today off. No, the greats don't do that. They don't take days off. They don't do that. They don't. A killer dog. What do you think about score? I think we beat Cleveland in 6. I think we beat them in 6. You have Garland, but Garland cannot check Brunson. Brunson will do what he wants. And they have nobody. I'm going to say it again. I mean nobody for Randle. And Randle has shown that when you don't have nobody for him, he's a problem. A major, major problem. Now, Donovan Mitchell's going to get his. But Randle was different, man, this year. And he like knows that he's different. He knows it. And now he's imposing his will. Brunson going to get his. But he's imposing his will. So now if you notice, guys, they're not even running. They're throwing double teams at Randle. But what is he doing? He's swinging it. He's swinging it, and Grimes is knocking it down. IQ is knocking it down. Brunson is knocking it down. RJ's knocking it down. So now, and that's because of Randle, because of what the impact that he puts on the game. And he's a quick starter. And he punishes you down there in that post. He's a throwback. They have nobody for him. Nobody. The only matchup issues that Randle has with anybody in the East, anybody. If you guys know somebody, you put him out there. It's a Greek freak. Outside of that, who else? Who else can check Randle in that Baja? Nobody. With his skill set and his strength and the way he plays. He's a matchup nightmare. We all said it about Randle. He's had to get this right. He get this right, he's a matchup nightmare. He is. And he rebounds. He gets the balls off the glass. He's getting 11 boards a game, and he's bodying dudes. Like, he's banging it and dunking on dudes. He's strong in that bar. No one wants to touch him. He's aggressive. at 6'10". He's a tough check, man. So there's nobody when he's paying when he's okay when they put the juju on him with the therapist and he's coming and whispering stuff in his ear. I told you guys to figure out what he's telling Randle. He's telling Randle something. I don't know what he's telling him. Randle's locked in. See, when he starts getting texts and starts screaming, I'm like, yo, I'll be screaming. I'm like, yo, someone go get the therapist. Someone go get his trainer. Go talk to him. Get him calm down. Get him to calm down. Kill the dog. I think if we have gotten Mitchell, it would have affected Brunson and Randle's development. Absolutely. Because he's a chucker, man. He shoots a lot. But also, too, we would have lost Grimes and IQ, man. That's big to what we do. Mitchell don't play no defense, man. None. He don't play no defense. I don't know if he was here earlier, Killer, but the impact that IQ has off that bench, what he's been able to do for us, is monumental, man. It's monumental. You can't put it into words what he's able to do. He gives us. We don't skip a beat when Brunson leaves. And that's why we're so dangerous. Because when he comes off the bench, it's like another starter, and he fills it up. He's like Maxey for the Sixers, but he's coming off the bench for us. He's coming off the bench for us. And then you got Josh Hart, who's a dog. Legit 6'5". You see what he did to Dinwiddie last night? He had Dinwiddie in cuffs, and Dinwiddie was killing us last time. He had Dinwiddie in cuffs. So yes, Donovan Mitchell is a sexy pick, right? But for what we do here, and for who Tibbs is, it's not a good match, and that's why they didn't pull the trigger. And that's just a fact, man. Tibbs did not want him. If Tibbs wanted him, we would have had him. Just like we got Josh Hart, right? Tibbs wanted him. Ashley, what's going on once again, man? I would stay the course this summer, right? And only add Kuzma or an athletic 6'8", 3D draft pick. I don't know about Kuzma, man. Kuzma's going to want a lot of money. And where's he going to play? RJ's not going to the bench. That's not happening. So what do? He tried to call Randle a baby last game. Randle went off. Randle was using him. Using him. $6'8", 3. Yeah, I would like a 6'8" draft pick. Remember, we got a lot of picks this year, so we got to see. Hey, listen, I'll tell you this much. I'm gonna tell you. Let's read this. Definitely, Tim. It's instant impact with quickly and hard getting the game. Absolutely. You know what I would do if I'm the Knicks? If I can't get a scoring guard, and I'm not talking about we got to give up like IQ and Grimes. I'm not doing that. I'll let Obi go. But if I can get an OG Anunoby this summer, I'm still going to get him. I'll put him in the starting lineup at the 3. Put RJ at the 2. Have Grimes come off the bench with Hart and IQ and iHeart. Now, Obi's gone because of whatever. They probably made some moves to get Obi up out of here. Maybe he was part of the OG Anunoby thing. I would OG Anunoby, remember, he's 6'8", 6'7", 6'8". With Randle When Randle comes out and all them other cats come in, I'll put OG in Randle's spot. Let RJ come out, take a break or whatever. You can mix and match because OG can play and defend those fours and those threes. And then you could do it where OG's out. He can sit out. Then you have Grimes, Brunson, same lineup that's right now. You can take Grimes out. Look at the mix and matching you could do with that. Imagine at the end of games, Brunson, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Randle, and Big Mitch in that middle. Two defensive wings that could defend. Two guys that can score. Josh Hart can score. And OG Anunoby can score. Mitch protecting the paint. Depending on who has a hot hand, Josh Hart maybe comes out or OG Anunoby comes out. And IQ was put in that spot to close out games. I mean, look at that. Look how you can mix and match that lineup. The Knicks will be a dangerous team next year, man. Dangerous. Because now you got guys that could defend and can knock down shots. And you can afford it because remember, you have league-friendly deals with Brunson, Randle, and damn, I'm like slipping my mind. And RJ. Tim, what do you think about the Knicks going after Kawhi or George after the Clippers if they don't win a chip this year? I wouldn't be surprised if no. They're too old, man. They're too old and they're injury prone. George, no, I wouldn't do that. No, man, no way. I wouldn't do that. We're trying to get younger. Keep our youth. Number one, those guys wouldn't leave because they're LA guys. That's why they're over there. Kawhi went there because he wanted to go back home. Paul George is from LA also. Those guys want to be back at home. So they're not leaving. They know they're at the tail end of their career. They maybe have between the both of them, maybe 3 years each left. 3 seasons left, I think, between the both of them. I don't think they're going to play another 5 or 10 years. There's no way. Max 5. Max. So they're finished. They're done. Randle was in his prime, man. He's only 28 years old. So we can get another 8 years out of Randle. Brunson's only 26, man. RJ's 22. I think Mitch is like 24. IQ, I think, is 21 or 20. When you guys look up the age, but they're young. They're all in their 20s. The picks we have can definitely bring in a star. Absolutely. So we got to figure out exactly like who's available, what we do. But I'm not giving up our young players, especially for how they played this year. I'm not getting them because now, once again, you're going to be able to keep those guys because Brunson and all those guys are on friendly deals. We got them for great deals, man. Great deals. Great deals. We definitely got Randle for a steal because the way Randle's playing now, he can get about 200 million out there right now. Brunson definitely. So, and they're not going to want to leave. They're happy here, man. And they want to win. Josh Hart, we're going to get on a team-friendly deal. He's not going to want to go no place. He's going to want to stay here. He even said it and have a place called home. He wants to stay here. He does not want to leave. And also, too, remember, his boy is here. Brunson's here. And also, Mikal Bridges is over there in Brooklyn. So all them cats are tight. Those are Villanova guys. They all tight. So they all tight. They're all close with their friends. So they're right here. They could build. And them guys don't want to leave, man. A lot of these guys want to stay someplace and find a place they can grow their family and raise their family. They don't want to be jumping all over the place. And Josh Hart has been doing that. So Knicks can get him on a really good deal. If they can sell him on, listen, we want you here. We love what you do here. We want to keep you here. This could be a place you can call home. He'll be like, listen, where do I sign? Now the Knicks ain't gonna give him no crazy. They ain't gonna shortchange him. They gonna give him a nice contract, kind of similar to what they probably gave Mitch, if not less. Because they got a deal out of Mitch too, a great deal. I think they're only paying Mitch. I don't want to get the number wrong, but it's not $100 million for Mitch. He might have paid Mitch maybe 50, 60 million, something like that. Francis Carrillo, I appreciate you coming by. Thank you. What are you going to do with Roca? Roca. Elaborate on that, please. I don't know what that means. Francisco, please elaborate on that, please. True indeed, and Brunson. Right. Tim, what do you think about the Knicks trading Mitch, Obi, Grimes in the 4 first-round draft pick for Embiid? No way. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that for Embiid. I love Embiid, but I'm not doing that. Killer Dogs. Brunson could be campaigning for a new contract right now if he wanted to. Right, but he is, but I don't. He's just his first year. So I don't see a guy like Brunson trying to kill the Knicks financially so he can get all of his money. I think this is where he wants to be. I think it's remember, guys, let's go back. Remember all the issues. Remember the Knicks were going over there to Dallas and sitting on the sidelines and kind of watching Brunson. Remember all that stuff was going on? And the Knicks got hit with like tampering charges. They got tampering charges. But they got in trouble with the NBA with tampering. They got in trouble with that. That was like a bad look. Right before they went off to go get Brunson, they hired his dad. So they knew what was going on. Brunson is also a CAA guy. When they went over and got Brunson, Dallas gave him an offer. He declined it. The first option that he had was to sign with the Knicks. He took it. He did not even shop around. He knew where he wanted to be. Especially his dad is here. He's right close to Villanova. This is home. This is different, man. These guys are embedded here, man. This is like a family thing. Tibbs has known Brunson since he was a little kid. So this is different. Tibbs is from Chicago. Brunson played high school ball in Chicago. So they've known the family. This is different, guys. I don't see Brunson holding out. None of that stuff's going to happen. The Knicks are going to take care of him. He's going to be good. This is not going to be no problem. Oh, yeah. Oh, Francisco, thank you. Oh, yeah. The guard in Europe that we have is supposed to be good. Yes. He's a couple years away, man. I don't think he's ready just yet. He's like a project. He's pretty good, but he's like a project. Francisco. He's a couple years away, man. When they draft those guys like that, a lot of those guys be young. They're like 17, 18, 19 sometimes. They change their age all the time. So he's like a project. He's over there getting better. So they're not going to pull him. And the Knicks own the rights to him. So the Knicks, money with that, we ain't worried about that. Now, as far as him coming over here playing, he's got to still develop. So the Knicks know he's like a project. So what about Mitch, Obi, Grimes? Oh, man, Tim, yo. Who'd you say? Mitch, Obi, Grimes? 4 number ones for Jokic. Ooh. I might have to say yes to that. How old is Jokic? Look it up for me. How old is he? Youth matters. Youth matters because you got to make sure that when you do this and you make a deal like that he's not going to be playing for another 3 more years and he's out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? How old is Jokic? Anybody look it up? Look it up real fast. I don't have my phone. All right, wait. I'm looking up right here. He's 28. He's 28, man. He just turned 28. Let me see. He just turned 28. Tim, you said this summer? Yeah, you got to do that. Yeah, you got to do that. Absolutely. Absolutely. You got him in his prime. He just turned 28 this summer. Yeah, you got to do that. Yeah, you got to do that. Definitely. Definitely got to do that. If he was like 32, I'm like, nah, man, because he might play a couple more years and be out of here. Remember, Mitch is still young. Grimes is still young. Obi's still young. So we got youth. But he's 28. He's in the prime of his career. And the way he plays, he could play for another 8 more seasons. Yeah, you do that. You do that ASAP. But, Tim, why you doing that, man? Come on, that's fool's gold, man. That's not happening. He's not leaving Denver. Listen, he would only leave if he wants to change the scenery, right? He's just kind of like tired of being out there, right? And he kind of forces his hands, like, I don't like it out here, it's too cold or something. I don't know. Right? That's the only way he leaves. There's no way that's happening. No way that's happening. But yes, I would do that. I would do that. Francisco, instead of Obi, give them Randle. Got to match the money. Yeah, no, man. We're not giving him. Listen, Randle's not going anywhere. Randle's not going anywhere. And I agree with Francisco. I agree with you. I know you're doing a money piece. That's cool. We're just kind of saying, just playing around. But I would not give up. Randle's an All NBA guy right now, and he's in the prime of his career. He's on the uptick. He's got the perfect coach. He's got his point guard. He's on the uptick. He just made the All-Star team. He's made the All-Star team 2 out of the last 3 years. Yes, he had a doozy of a season last year. I get it. But you're not going to find a 6'10" guy that's talented like Randle and as aggressive as him. Like, they're not out there like that. So that's number one. Number two, Randle is uber talented, man. Like I know a lot of people are stuck on what happened last year, and I get it. But he is uber talented, man. And the way he's playing now, the Knicks will be fools to trade him. They're not getting a guy like that in this league. There's no one out there like that. When Randle was playing Randle, and he's smart, there's nobody down there that scores the way he scores. Who else does what Randle does? Think about that. It's probably the Greek Freak, Jokic, Embiid. Who else? Who else is scoring 25 or better and pulling down 11 boards? And their team is winning. Boss, you got to tell the truth here. Like we you know what I'm saying? Like we gotta probably to LeBron. Come on, man. Don't do that. LeBron is on his way out. He's just waiting for his son to come one year and he's gone. But LeBron is on the Mount Rushmore. Come on, we can't do that. I take LeBron out of it. Randle's building value if we go deep in the playoffs. Yeah, but I'm not getting rid of Randle. I'm not doing it. He needed a good point guard. Now look at him. Killer, right? Killer dog, right? Exactly. He's like an all NBA guy. He might be. Guys, is Randle second team all NBA this year? The year that he won, he was third team all NBA, I think. He's not first team all NBA. I know that, but he might be second team all NBA, man. All right, Anthony Davis, right? They're losing. They're not winning over there in Los Angeles. Anthony Davis is doing what Randle's doing probably, but they're not winning. Tim, can you imagine Brunson and Randle And RJ and Joker, I'll be crazy. Jokic is he's man, he just plays basketball the right way. With the way everyone's playing today, all these AAU kids coming into the league, just running and gunning, thinking they're Steph Curry, he plays the game the right way. That's why he's killing dudes. The way Jokic is playing is how they used to play back in the day. So he ain't doing nothing special. He's not. He slows down the game. Same thing with Luka. Same thing. They slow down the game. That's how Larry Bird used to play. That's why everybody says. If Jordan was playing today, Jordan would average 45 points, maybe 50 points a game. He'll be killing these kids off of basic stuff. Jokic and Luka they're doing basic stuff, man. They're not traveling. They're head faking, in and out, layup, pivot, drop step, hook, fall away. Simple. Head fake, dribble. They doing simple stuff, man. They Larry Bird out there. So imagine if Jordan he'd be averaging 50, man. He'll be killing these kids off of just his footwork is crazy. Just off of the pivots, drop steps, left hand. His left hand was just as strong as his right hand. These kids ain't got no left hand. And the left-handers ain't got no right hand. Boss, come on, man. Come on, man. They would be abusing these kids today. They don't know how to play no ball. Francisco Crew, we good. Stay put. Joker don't jump. Fake here, fake over there. Bro, word up. Francisco right. And he's killing dudes. So he's doing all that. And he's killing guys. He's about to get his third MVP. His third MVP. Come on, man. Come on, look what Embiid is doing. Embiid is a legit big. There's no legit bigs in the league. That's why he's doing what he's doing. Imagine if Shaq played today. Man, he'd be averaging 40 points. Do you not understand? Like these kids, that's why like the whole Jordan LeBron comparison and the eras, there's no comparison, man. Just because these kids are more athletic. Let me tell you something. I went to a real story. I'm gonna give you guys story time. I went to this rec league, not even a rec league. It was like young kids. They probably was maybe about 12 or 13 playing. Super athletic. But when I mean they could not do simple bounce passes or backdoor cuts or layup, everything was between the legs, around the back. They shooting. They look like you could tell they didn't know how to play basketball. You could tell. And I was like, this is how it is watching the league. The league is the same type of way sometimes. Super athletic. They can run faster. They're bigger. We get it. But the basics, they have no idea about. None. So that's why them dudes from like the 80s and the 90s, they'll be cooking today. These guys are carrying. They're taking 5 steps. They don't even know how to. There's sometimes man, RJ be doing stuff. I'm like, dogs. I be rubbing my head like, yo, man, what are you doing? Last year, Randle out almost blew my gasket last year. The choices that these guys make on the court. Defensively, like they don't switch. Like if a guy's coming off the screen, the guy with the ball, if that was my man and a screen got set on me, instead of me staying with the guy that set the screen, these guys are going with the guy that they was guarding and leave this guy wide open. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? He's wide open. They just like, I gotta go with him because that's my man. No, that's not your man. Just you leaving this guy wide open in a drain bomb. I'm like, yo, these guys don't know how to play basketball. Like simple stuff, man. So pick and roll. So you got to stay with this guy right here because you got picked. So now whoever was checking that guy, he's got to roll with your man, and you got to stay with him because you got picked. You don't follow the guy. All the guy doing is rolling. He's wide open. Like they don't. It's simple stuff, man. Simple. They don't know. So that's how I know that, and that's why Jokic and Luka are killing these dudes. Or for simple in and out, fall away, head fake, layups. They playing in slow motion on these cats, man. Joker's very skilled, can score and play defense. That definitely kind of center we need. Agreed. Get Blockness a bank shot and a jump hook. Hit the box from the free throw line. Agreed. New move. Dribblers push with offhand. I thought no hand checking. Yeah, man. It's no hand checking for the defense. For the defense, no hand checking. But those guys, those guys are clearing away. When they try to make their move, try to make their cross, they try to create space. So that's what's happening. True indeed. I thought that hand checking went with the Jordan era. Yeah, it did. It did, but defensive, you can't hand check. They call that every time. But offensively, they're letting these guys push off all the time, especially when they go to the rack, right? When they go to the rack and they know you coming, you're able to bump the guy, like with your forearm, boom, step through and let. That's a fact, man. If I'm coming trying to defend, you can't bump me off and push me off with your forearm and score. It's a fact. But they're not calling. Then I'm hearing craziness too. I forget who I was talking to. I was talking to one of my homeboys. He's a ref and he does some NBA games. He said, or he's doing college, trying to get like one of my other friends. He said, what the reason why they're allowing a gather step. That's why they're getting 3 steps. So the first step they're not allowing. They're not counting that. They're not counting it as 2 steps. They're counting it as a gather. Then you take 2. I said, dogs, that's 3 steps. That's why these guys are so able to get to the rack, man. Because they're taking an extra step. It's crazy, man. They got to call the game the way it's supposed to be, man, according to the rule book. But they're not. They like all the scoring. They like all the stuff that's going on. It's good for good for ratings and stuff like that. That's just the truth. People try to say that's not true. That's what's going on. That's a fact. That's exactly what's going on. Period. And and if they allowed hand checking defensively, none of these guys will be able to do nothing. Period. New game with new call. Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. That's definitely what's going on. So we gotta see, man. It's going to be really, really exciting, man. We got the Knicks are right there, man. They're right there, and I think they're gonna make us very proud this postseason. I really do, and I think they're gonna shock the world. I don't know how, but I would not be surprised if the Knicks make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Because once again, it's all about matchups. Ooh, my man said 50 burger. Ooh. How many more games they got left? 19? 19? Wait, 37, right? 37 and 27? 13 more wins. Ooh. I'm with it. 50 wins. Let's do it. 50 wins. 50 wins. Let's go. 50 wins. 50 wins. Yeah, hold on. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Hold up. Hold up. All right. Okay. All right. Now look. Before I get up out of here, we're gonna take a look at the schedule. And I want everybody on what we're gonna break down these wins and what we got. Let me see here. All right. Give me 1 second. NBA 13 and 5. Francisco, man. Got me thinking. I didn't want to go that far. I didn't want to jump off the cliff. But you got me thinking that. All right. So here we go. All right. Now listen. Miami Heat. Say a win. Put a W in the thing. All right. Next we got Boston. At Boston. I'm gonna say a loss. I'm gonna say a loss. We won last time, but they're gonna get some calls. You know how it is in Boston Garden. You know how it is. We gave them the business. All right. So Boston, you gotta win. Charlotte, that's a dub, right? I'm putting that in there. W, right? Charlotte, it's a W. Okay. Somebody keep the numbers down. So I got one loss. I got 2 wins and 1 loss. Now, next Thursday starts that West Coast trip. I already got 1 loss in there. Sacramento. Ooh. Yo, the Kings been killing, man. Late night, 10 o'clock. Tim, you say W? All right, let's do a W. We're gonna go with a win. We're gonna steal it from the Kings, right? Kings are tough though. Right after that Saturday, we got the Clippers. Clippers are tough, man. Tough. And they got Westbrook. And they said Westbrook's like rejuvenated playing out there, man. All right, Clippers, I say, is a loss. The matchups give us problems. They gave us problems in the Garden that one time. Even though Knicks could have came back and won that, they gave us problems. We had no answer for Kawhi and no answer for Paul George. So we say a loss. So what are we right now? What's that, 3-2? All right, cool. Lakers, no LeBron. That's a W. Okay. At Portland, that's a W. Denver at home. We beat them last time. I have to give us a loss. It's a loss. It's tough, man. It's tough. Where we at now? See? Getting tight now. It's 3 losses, right? So we only lose 2 more. All right. Minnesota at home. That's a dub. I got to double that, right? We got that, right? Dub. At Miami again. See, Miami's tough because you got to know, are they going to go on a winning streak now and kind of figure it out? They're tough. I say a win. Say a win. Right? At Orlando, that's a win. They give us problems, but I think we got to figure it out. With Josh Hart, that's a win. So where we at right now? It's 3. So we're 9-3 or 7-3? 9-3. Oh, versus Houston? Oh, that's a wash. We got them. We got Houston, right? And we got Miami at the Garden. It's a dub. Another dub. At Cleveland. Ooh. Oh. At Cleveland, man. I would say that's a loss. I'm gonna say it's a loss. It's a Friday night at 7:30. I'm gonna say that's a loss. Right? Home against Washington. Washington matches up well against us too, man. Bradley, Beal, and boys, but they'll probably Washington might be in the heat of it, man. So they might be trying. Okay, so I say Washington. Your Spider's a problem. I see W against Washington. Indiana dub. At New Orleans. This is dangerous. You know why? Because New Orleans is still in it as far as the playoffs go out there, I think. What if Zion's back? What if Zion's back? I gotta put that as a loss. We smacked them before, but if Zion's back, he changed the whole dynamic of what they do. I'll say that's a loss. And at the Pacers, home, 1:00 on a Sunday, that's a dub. Because they ain't gonna play nobody. What we got there? What we got there? How we ended off? We ended off. We go. What, last 2 games, we got that. Last 2 games, 1-1. Last 2 games. So what's that? 5 losses. So I think we right on it, right? 13 and 5, like you said, Francisco. Last two games, we lost at New Orleans. We won against the Pacers. So I think all in all, I think we got. I think we are 13 and 5. Okay. But see. Just know this though. Know this. Some of those games are gimmies too, right? Because you've got to remember, guys, some guys are going to be injured. Some teams may say, forget it. We realize we're not going to make it into the playoffs. So they might decide, like the Pacers might decide to say, forget it, right? Right? Or a team like the Wizards. They might be playing hard and trying to get, and they can knock us off. The Wizards, remember, Wizards been giving us problems. I was at the game when he smacked us, and Randle just was missing in action. He let Kuzma in him. That's probably why he got mad and got busy. So Washington matchups with Bradley Beal and those guys, they just Kuzma, like they give us problems. I don't know why, but they just do. So that's a dangerous game. The Heat is still dangerous, man, because they might figure it out. They might start waking up and start playing better. I have us sweeping the Heat. We play the Heat 3 more times. We play them Friday, and then 2 more times. I got us winning all 3. We can go 2 or 3 against that and not get to 50, get 50 wins. Right? That Sacramento game is tricky, man. That Sacramento game is tricky. Right. Once good teams start clinching, right, they're going to rest their players. I do agree with that. Tibbs is not going to do that. So we don't have to worry about that. He's not going to rest anybody. He's playing everybody. He wants them to play through. And we got to also, guys, knock on wood, no injuries. No injuries, guys. No injuries. No injuries. We got to pray for that. Right? Brunson had a little scary fall the other night. Cleveland, I got us as a loss. That West Coast trip is dangerous because we can come out of there 2-2. But see, it's dangerous. We can come. I know we're going to be Portland, but we got to be careful with the Clippers and Sacramento because we can come out of there 2-2. If the Lakers pull it out, or they pull something out, we can come out of there like 1-3, man. So we got to be careful. Like West Coast trips are tough. Our defense gets glued. I pity the fool. I do pity the fool. Word up. If we don't get no injuries, we could definitely agreed. See that Denver game? That Denver game's tough, man. I think we could beat them. We beat them last time. We beat them at Denver. So we could beat them cats, but that's gonna be tough, man. We could definitely do it. But here's the thing: we can't. We gotta approach every game as we've been approaching it. We can't be playing no games with anybody. Nobody. We don't take Indiana for granted. We don't take Washington for granted. We don't take Orlando for granted because Orlando gives us problems, guys. They do, just matching up wise. I don't know why, but they just do. Just matchups, man. They give us problems. I don't know why, but I don't know, something with Orlando, man. I know they don't have Mo Bamba no more, right? I know that he was a problem coming off the bench for them. He's big, but Bol was tough, man. I don't know why. He's long and he's a matchup nightmare, man. These guys are still NBA players, so you got to respect these guys. Like when they come off the bench and dudes just get 10 points, you're like, yo, man, why are you letting him get 10 points? Because, he's in the league. He's nice. So you can't be slipping. You gotta approach all these teams like they're number one seed. They're Boston or you gotta get up for all these teams. You gotta get up for Orlando. You gotta get up for the Pacers. Because you don't mess around with the Pacers, you can lose both games to the Pacers, right? So you just gotta lock in. Can't play around with these teams. Let me see. Ashley, I would give Denver that one, although we can beat them, right? Denver gave up a lot bench wise, right? Right. So you know what I'm saying? So you just gotta Sacramento's dangerous, man. They're really good. I didn't know they was that good this year. That's why Mike Brown's gonna probably he's gonna get coach of the year this year. I mean, I think they're the number 3 seed in the West. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. We have like the toughest schedule in the league, like left. Like we're like up there. So you see who we're playing. We got this West Coast trip. We got a couple other teams right after that. We got Denver at home. We got the Heat is still a Heat, man. You gotta respect them. Can't take them for granted. And we're at Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? So that's tough. And we're at New Orleans late. You know what I mean? They might have Zion. And remember, they're fighting for a playoff spot. If Zion is back, he changes with everything they do. Everything. We smacked them last game like there was nothing, but he ain't play. You guys saw him out there on the sideline too. He had a turtleneck on. He looking like he's back to 400 pounds again. I don't know what's up with him, man. He get injured a lot, man. I don't know what the deal is with him. I don't know, man. He got to stay off the cheeseburgers. He's definitely gonna get coach of the year. He's doing a great job. He is, man. He is. De'Aaron Fox, man. He's off, man. Remember we was talking about De'Aaron Fox for Randle last year? And they didn't want to do it. Remember we was talking with the Kings? They was talking. They was talking to us about getting Randle, and then they turned around and got Sabonis instead. Remember? We was going to make that deal. Sabonis is good too, man. Sabonis is an all-star this year. Sabonis and Fox made the all-star team. I think if the Knicks were a higher seed this year, I think if they were like a 4th seed or a 3rd seed, I think Brunson would have made it. He should have definitely made it over Tyrese Halliburton. He should have made it over him. I don't know how he made it over Brunson. He's good. He's playing well this year, but he's not better than Brunson. Yeah, it's going to be exciting, man. It's going to be exciting. They just have to lock in. Don't take no games off. And also, too, what we have to do is we got to come in with a great, strong momentum. Like we got to finish strong to where it carries over into the playoffs. And we got to make sure we stay healthy. We got to stay healthy. Yeah. JB plays like Fred Astaire. He does. He does. But listen, guys, I'm about to get up out of here. It's almost 9 o'clock. Listen, I appreciate you guys coming by again. I truly, truly do, man. I love talking this basketball. Everybody that's here, please come back. When I do it live again, just check it. I'm going to put it up on the pages for you guys to come by. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Leave comments. I love talking this basketball talk with you guys, man. I truly, truly do. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I know it's all because of you guys, man. So I thank you. I thank you for that, man. I truly, truly do. Trust me when I say that. Just get my channel up. Like I said, I'm gonna have definitely try to do StreamYard with the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna start sending out gifts to you guys. You know what I mean? Play games and stuff. I got a couple of things on the back wall here. I got stuff in the room. I send you guys. We could try to, because I know that you guys are the reason I'm getting these subscribers, and I'm just doing what it is that I love to do, man. Talk sports, man. All right, so I appreciate you guys. I truly, truly do. All right, so I'm LV Live. Everybody sleep tight. Be safe. Be healthy. Be strong. God bless you guys and your family. Let's get this win tomorrow, man. In Miami. All right, I'm LV Live, people, and I'm out. Peace.